Hi friends, once again welcome back to my channel Dr. Great. So the previous video we were seeing about the spermatogenesis in a short way so that it could be used for a revision type of thing, and in this video also we are going to see about the oogenesis, which is somewhat related to the spermatogenesis because both of them come under the gametogenesis. So thanks for supporting me because I have seen a good response, and if you have any suggestions, please drop down in the comment section below. So without wasting any time, let's go on to the topic. But before going to the video, please subscribe to Dr. Great and press the bell icon to receive the latest updates. So what is oogenesis? So oogenesis, or it is also called as ovogenesis, is a sequence of events by which oogonia are transformed into mature oocytes, and after that they are ready for the fertilization. And there are two phases, like it is before birth, that is during the fetal period, and after the puberty period. So between this there is no activity occurring, and it is, we can say, at a dormant stage or inactive stage. So we know that oogenesis or ovogenesis is a sequence of events by which oogonia are transformed into mature oocytes, and this maturation process begins before birth and is completed after the puberty. During the early fetal life, the primordial germ cells give rise to oogonia, and this oogonia proliferates into many oogonias by mitosis. Then the oogonia, which is here oogonia or the singular form oogonium, it enlarges to form the primary oocytes. That is this. So it forms before the birth, and it is also called as the primary oocytes. So here we can see that the primary oocyte is formed. This is the primary oocyte, and this is the surrounding cells, like this one, the surrounding cells, which form the follicular epithelial cells or follicular cells, and they surround the primary oocytes. So this is what the primary oocyte looks like. So after oogonium or oogonia is proliferated by mitosis, they enlarge and form primary oocytes, and that also it happens before birth. So this happens before birth, but as they form, as they grow bigger, like this is a smaller one, then this happens to be a bigger one, and then when it attains this size, then the follicular epithelial cells surrounds this primary oocytes, and they form into matured primary oocytes. In a manner we can say that. So as the primary oocytes are enclosed by the follicular epithelial cells, so these are called as the primordial follicles. So this is the early development of the primary follicles, as the single layer of flattened follicular cells, this is flattened, single layer of flattened follicular cells, as you can see, have been enclosed, and they are called as the primordial follicles. And what are primary follicles? So after the primordial follicles is formed, so now they are being formed into the cuboidal granulosa cells. So the flattened cells have been converted to cuboidal cells, and the primordial follicles with these cuboidal cells are called as the primary follicles. So as you can see here, so generally we can say the first primordial follicle covered by the flat follicular epithelial cells, and after this they get converted into cuboidal granulosa cells, and this whole structure is called as the primary follicles. So now what happens is that the primary oocytes, they begin their first meiotic division before birth. So we can mark this as the before birth period. So they begin their first meiotic division before birth, but completion of the prophase doesn't occur until adolescence. So after the female has achieved a puberty stage, the prophase completion occurs, because the primary oocytes, these are the primary oocytes, they remain dormant in the ovarian follicles until puberty. So as a follicle matures, the primary oocyte increases in size, and shortly before duration completes the first meiotic division. So this completes the first meiotic division, as we can say the first meiosis or first meiotic division, to give rise to the secondary oocytes and the first polar body. We can see here that both these cells are unequal in size. So the division of cytoplasm is unequal in this stage. So now as the secondary oocytes have been formed, and we can see the secondary oocyte contains a larger cytoplasmic content than the first polar body, then the first polar body degrades. So this degrades. I will be showing you this clearly. So this first polar body degrades, so it is of no use. Now coming to the secondary oocytes. These secondary oocytes that we are seeing at the ovulation, the nucleus of the secondary oocytes begins the second meiosis or second meiotic division, we can say here, second meiotic division, but progresses only to the metaphase. Now we can see there are P, M, A, T. So prophase, metaphase, anaphase, and telophase. So we can see that in the first meiosis, the primary oocyte, the prophase doesn't occur, and it completes only after the female has achieved the puberty stage. But in the secondary oocytes, what we are saying is that when it undergoes meiosis 2, it completes the prophase, but not the metaphase. The metaphase is half completed, it's not fully completed. So the metaphase stage is only completed when a sperm gets fertilized with the oocytes, that is secondary oocyte. So when the sperm fertilizes the secondary oocytes, when they both get fertilized, then only the metaphase of the second meiosis gets completed. So the ovum is being fertilized by the sperm, and as the first meiosis, there are two cells formed. The ovum is fertilized with the sperm, and it is called as the fertilized oocyte, and the secondary polar body or second polar body, which is smaller in size. Here also we can say that it is an unequal distribution of the cytoplasm. The second polar body is smaller, and the ovum or fertilized oocyte is larger in size. Then after this fertilization occurs, they get converted to the zygote stage. So then the development of the embryo starts, and it gets converted into fetus. So now one more point to note is that the follicular cells surrounding the primary oocyte, like these cells, the purple ones that are surrounding the primary oocyte, are believed to secrete a substance, and that is oocyte maturation inhibitor, OMI in short we call them. And the main function of this oocyte maturation inhibitor is that to keep the meiotic process of the oocyte arrested whenever it is required. So we often see that in the primary oocytes, when the first meiotic division is happening, at one stage the meiosis gets stopped or arrested, and in another one we see in the meiosis 2, again the secondary oocytes, it gets arrested. So the main reason behind this is the oocyte maturation inhibitor, which acts a main role in this arresting function. And speaking about the polar bodies, which are smaller in size, they have no function as they are small non-functional cells, and they soon degenerate, and basically they do not have any function. So if we come to the revision part, we can say that oogenesis or ovogenesis is a sequence of events, this whole events, by which the oogonia or this oogonium is transformed to the mature oocytes or zygote. So if we see the cycle, we can say that during the early life, the primordial germ cells gives rise to the oogonium, and they undergo the mitotic divisions, and they form many oogonium. This oogonium then undergoes meiosis 1 to give rise to the primary oocytes. But what happens is that the primary oocytes doesn't complete the first meiotic division until it reaches the puberty stage or the adolescent stage, and from the birth to the puberty stage, the primary meiosis is in dormancy or it is inactive. And as the primary oocytes reaches the meiosis 1, or the female reaches the puberty stage, the primary oocytes gets converted or completes the meiosis 1 and gets converted to the secondary oocytes in the first polar body. So the first polar body is usually degenerated and it's non-functional, whereas the secondary oocyte undergoes secondary meiosis or meiosis number 2, and it stops at the metaphase stage, and the metaphase stage is only completed when a sperm cells fertilizes it and they get converted to the ovum or fertilized ovum. And here also secondary polar body is formed, which is of no use, and ultimately the ovum or fertilized oocyte or ovum gets converted to the zygote. That's all. So with this we end this video, and thank you fellas for watching my video. And if you like the video, please subscribe it, like it, and share it, and support us, and stay tuned till our next video comes. Thank you once again.